On now at all 11 Mermaid Mattress locations.
This time of year, you're going to see a lot of races taking place because it's a beautiful time to be outside and also a great time to remind people of the benefit of giving back to the community that we all love so much. Susan Matthews has been at the forefront of that give back for a long time. She has an organization called Love Without Reason, very close to her heart, but happily, thanks to the work that you and your husband have done, is close to an awful lot of people's hearts, not just here. But all around the world, actually. Yes. So good to see you.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Let's talk a little bit about, first of all, the particulars. The race is September 9th.
That's
Do I have that right?
That's right.
So
next Saturday.
And now let's talk about the why. So
Sure.
Love Without Reason has a very specific cause, right?
Absolutely. We are working to end human trafficking and to prevent human trafficking, and we focus in on children that are born with cleft and craniofacial birth defects. It sounds kind of awkward, but in the developing world, these children are stigmatized and ostracized and live a life of rejection, which just makes them vulnerable to human traffickers who prey on them and their families and just entice them with, you know, you're going to get a steady job, sell your child to me, and we'll make sure that you get a steady income, and they'll never see their child again. They'll be sold into, it could be the sex trade, it could be for labor, it could be even for organ harvesting.
Oh my. So now, Susan, you began this organization a long time ago.
Yes.
And did you know then about the sex trafficking side of it? I was thinking that y'all really began it to help with the surgeries for
Absolutely.
cleft palates.
I had no idea that this was happening. Our dream was just to help another child that was born like our son with cleft and craniofacial birth defects, and so that was our whole intention. But after we started researching and learning more and more, I could not believe the link between facial differences and human trafficking.
I think that in this country, surgeries are probably more readily available.
Yes.
But the cost of them is much more than it is in the developing world. I think that you've told me before, your husband especially will go back to India pretty frequently, but that the cost to have one of these life-changing surgeries for a child in India is pennies on the dollar compared to here.
Absolutely. You know, the dollar goes so far in the developing nations, also in Africa where we work, and for about $1,000 we are able to take care of the patient from the time of admission till the time of discharge. They travel from hundreds of miles away sometimes to come for a cleft surgery, and so to get them back and to make sure that the families are lodged and, you know, they have food, everything is covered with that.
So I wanted to make that point because I think sometimes it's helpful if you're contributing to a cause to know how impactful your contribution will be. Absolutely. And it's not that you're not wanting to focus on the needs in this country too, it's just that it's a little bit more protected here.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So to enter the race on September 9th, what is the entry fee?
It's $35 for the 5K.
Okay.
There's also a 10K this year, so it's $55. And we have a big wheel race for the children.
Oh, fun. Which is a great thing to get them involved. Because something else I was going to ask you, I think that this is a true statement, that an awful lot of us in our lives might know people who have a craniofacial difference, certainly a cleft palate, but we might not know it because they've had surgeries to correct it at a younger age.
Right. If you get the surgery done at the right time, which is between 12 months of age to maybe 24 months, you know, in that critical time period, if the palate repair is done at that right time, they'll be able to speak properly. But the problem is that in countries like Zimbabwe, there's a 5-year backlog of these children waiting for surgeries. So my thought and my passion is, oh my goodness, how many kids, how many adults are voiceless just because they didn't have access to the surgeons who could repair this so easily.
So when you were raising these monies, and y'all are very diligent and careful in determining how you allocate the monies, I know that.
Absolutely.
Are you putting it though towards those people who now are older and could benefit even though that window has passed, or are you trying to hit the people, the babies in that window?
Well, our surgeons, during screening day, we evaluate everyone who comes to the camp. We can't force anyone to come, but this last camp that we had in Kenya, for example, we had 16 adults show up above 18 years of age.
Wow.
So long as that they're healthy, so long as they go through the screening and all the doctors clear them for surgery, there's no problem about doing their surgeries. They can be repaired.
I've known Susan for a number of years now, and her son Philip was born with craniofacial differences, and he had quite a number of surgeries.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was sort of his norm,
Yes.
right, growing up.
Yes, absolutely.
But this was very close to his heart too. He wanted to make a difference.
He did want to make a difference, and he went through 25 surgeries. We were so fortunate. We had Dr. Sargent and the craniofacial team at Erlanger to help Philip thrive, to help him get stronger. And his last medical camp that he came to, he was in Zimbabwe in August of 2019. That was just 2 months before he went home to heaven. He went and told the parents and the children, I want you to do bigger things than Philip ever did. And that was his passion. He wanted to inspire them to do that. If Philip could make it, you can make it too.
And I wanted to focus on the global side of what you do, because I don't know, it's just so impactful to me to think, and I hope it will be for you too, that here we are in Chattanooga, and we very much want to take care of our own lives here in Chattanooga, but the power of what we create here ripples out. In more places than you often realize. So to think that you come and you have that beautiful course on September 9th, you enjoy the fun of it, and you get the exercise in, and you have your contribution, but then all of that gets combined and it goes to Kenya and Zimbabwe and India, and you are truly going to change the trajectory of a person's life.
There is no price that you can put on the smile of a child and their life.
So it's the 5K Run for Love. Is there a deadline to sign up?
You can even come in on race day. We accept walk-in registrations up until 9 o'clock in the morning.
And the big wheel race is a great thing, because that River Park area, I mean, the pavement's there, easy, the kids can have a great time. And then if they're old enough, you can explain to them what they've done to help.
Absolutely, it's a great thing.
Always love having you here, Susan.
Thank you, Julie.
You.